What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today we're looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is currently down roughly 1% today. Obviously the entire market is seeing a slight downward trend. I think it's quite expected, seeing as we had quite a huge rally during the month of September and towards the start of October, and altcoins are really seeing the worst of it, like Fetch, Rune, Jupiter, Solana. Solana was rallying, but now is starting to come down, also slightly lagging behind Bitcoin. But we're going to cover essentially why I think Bitcoin is crashing. Now, in the previous Bitcoin video, we essentially predicted that, because the weekly candle was so bullish and so static, that this next candle will essentially come down and retest this area, and that's exactly what it did to a T. So it's sort of going how we expected. Now I'd say it's actually going slightly better, as I was expecting this candle to really trend below where it is right now, just because of how bullish the previous candle was. But it's not. It's actually come back up quite significantly and is now trending in this order block that we have here. So from that perspective, Bitcoin is looking quite strong. And we also have to take into account that the S&P index has essentially been falling for the past week. Also, it hit a new all-time high, and that is obviously now going to start to see a slight downturn as we start to develop some more price action at these higher levels. Another key thing to note is that in a very short amount of time, in a few weeks now, the president of America is going to be elected. Now, for the entire crypto market, probably even for the S&P, just depending on how the investors are going to view it. But overall, for crypto, it's going to be a huge bonus, and I think we'll see a slight pump when that comes. Obviously, it's slightly priced into the market from the poly market odds, which have been at a huge high for Trump. So maybe that's what's been pricing in this pump. However, what we need to see for Bitcoin is going to be a close on the weekly. Obviously, this week doesn't really matter how we close. We can close anywhere in this vicinity and it will be okay. However, next week what we really need to see is us pump above here and start to trend back up into the high 70s. We also need to take a look at the heat map. So here you can see I have the 24-hour heat map, and we have a few liquidations. So we have a few liquidations building up here below these lows. You can see the yellow. Now, the brighter the color, the more liquidations there are, and the more chance that we're going to go to those levels. We are quite close to these levels already, with logic that I think that we're going to fall to these levels first. Then after we fall to these levels, probably during the weekend, Saturday, and once we fall to those levels, I think we'll come back up to clear these liquidations here, just at above 68k and just at 69,000, depending also how the one at 69,000 develops. But the one at just above 68k does seem quite easy to clear. So I wouldn't really say a pump and dump or any sort of directional move. It's more just of a consolidation. Like, it's not clear that we're just going to pump and continue, and it's not just clear that we're going to dump and continue. It's like a dump into a pump. So sort of a sideways move, but again, I wouldn't be trying to catch one of those. It's, I think, too low reward for the amount of risk. But if you do want to be catching a lot of great trades, then check out the Discord down below, because we're crushing it in there every single day. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Now, we also need to check out the 3-day heat map here. It does provide us with a bit more of a perspective as it zooms out, and we can see that we have a lot of liquidations building below these lows right here. I'd say like 67,000 right here, somewhere in the $67,000 range, and obviously that's quite bearish. So what I expect is for us to clear those liquidations that we saw on the lower time frame and then come down to these liquidations. However, because the lower liquidation was just below these lows, it could also very well be that there's enough selling pressure for us to clear these before we head higher. So now that we've cleared the heat maps, let's get back to the TA. We will go on the daily. Obviously, we got that retest, and it is actually looking quite bullish. It's not looking bearish at all. We are now in an uptrend. We created these higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and inevitably, it looks like this is going to start to trend up, and we are going to create a higher high. Obviously, if we break this low right here and we create a lower low, then we're going to have to make another video discussing why Bitcoin is probably likely to go back into a downtrend and why we're likely to start. However, for the time being, we're in an uptrend and we have to be quite optimistic. And the S&P also looks like it can come down slightly, but as long as it's in good legs, then we should be able to start to trend back up, within a few months or weeks. Also depending on how the market and the US market specifically will react to the new president. Now, another thing is also Bitcoin dominance. Now, I keep mentioning this in a lot of videos, but it's super important. We need Bitcoin dominance to start to fall down, and you can see it's following the complete opposite direction of my black arrow here. It keeps trending up, and it's in a huge uptrend. You can see it's been trending up for however long this is. It's been going on for years now, and we won't have any sort of alt season until this goes into a downtrend. So that's what we're inevitably waiting for also. And the way Bitcoin dominance is calculated is simply by how much money is flowing into Bitcoin compared to other altcoins and the outflow as well. And if this is high, it means most of the money is going into Bitcoin, which might be good for Bitcoin, but it's not good for altcoins. And Bitcoin can pump 1%, but if we get a slightly less amount flowing into altcoins, they can pump 2, 3, 4%, so double what Bitcoin can do, to see a lot of gains in the market. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you need a place to trade crypto, make sure to check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. Again, if you want to be getting trades every single day, check out the Discord down below also. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.